In the heart of a small village, nestled on the edge of a vast jungle, there lived a young boy named Arun. From an early age, Arun shared an unbreakable bond with an orphaned elephant calf he named Suri. Arun had found Suri as a baby, alone and frightened near the riverbank, after a poacher's trap had claimed the life of her mother. Determined to protect her, Arun had brought Suri home to the village, where the two became inseparable. As they grew, their friendship became the stuff of local legend. Arun and Suri roamed the forest together, Arun teaching Suri how to find fruit, and Suri carrying Arun on her back through rivers and dense foliage. Villagers often marveled at their connection, noting how Suri seemed to understand Arun's every word and gesture. Together they embodied a harmony that few could imagine, a boy and an elephant thriving side by side. But their paradise was not without its threats. The jungle around the village was being encroached upon by illegal loggers, and the once abundant wildlife began to disappear. Suri's kind, the gentle giants of the forest, were particularly at risk. As Arun grew older, he became increasingly aware of the danger looming over Suri and her kin. One fateful day, when Arun was 15, he returned from the fields to find chaos in the village. Suri was missing. Villagers spoke of a group of poachers who had passed through, likely capturing Suri for the illegal ivory trade. Arun was devastated, but his determination burned brighter than his grief. He vowed to bring Suri back, no matter the cost. Arun's journey took him deep into the jungle, armed with nothing but a slingshot, a knife, and his unyielding love for Suri. He followed the faint trail of broken branches and muddy footprints, venturing into territories he had never dared explore. Along the way, Arun encountered danger at every turn: ferocious animals, treacherous terrain, and the constant threat of the poachers themselves. After days of tracking, Arun stumbled upon the poachers' camp. From a concealed spot, he saw Suri chained to a tree, her usually bright eyes dull with fear. Arun's heart ached, but he knew he had to act swiftly and cleverly. He waited until nightfall, when the poachers were asleep, and carefully approached the camp. Using the knife he carried, Arun managed to cut through the thick chains binding Suri. She recognized him instantly, her eyes lighting up with relief and trust. Just as they began to slip away, one of the poachers stirred and spotted them. A shout rang out, and chaos erupted. Arun and Suri fled into the jungle, the poachers close behind. Suri, despite her exhaustion, moved with astonishing speed, guided by Arun's calm voice and firm grip on her ear. Together, they navigated the dense forest, using every ounce of their shared knowledge to evade capture. Finally, after what felt like hours, they reached a hidden grove that Arun had discovered during his childhood adventures. The poachers, unfamiliar with the jungle's secrets, lost their trail. Safe at last, Arun collapsed against Suri's side, tears of relief streaming down his face. News of Arun's daring rescue spread quickly. His bravery inspired the villagers to take a stand against the illegal activities threatening their home. Together, they formed patrols to protect the jungle and collaborated with conservation groups to create a sanctuary for elephants and other endangered wildlife. Suri became a symbol of their fight, her story a testament to the bond between humans and animals. Years later, as Arun stood at the edge of the sanctuary, now a grown man, he watched Suri lead a herd of elephants through the lush greenery. She turned her massive head toward him, and in that moment, Arun knew they would always be connected. Their story, one of love, courage, and resilience, served as a reminder of what could be achieved when humans chose to protect rather than exploit the natural world. Arun and Suri's journey, the Great Forest Expedition. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Arun and Suri stumbled upon a clearing they had never seen before. The sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting golden patterns on the forest floor. Suri flapped his large ears with excitement, sensing that something magical was about to happen. "Where are we, Suri?" Arun asked, his voice filled with wonder. Suri lifted his trunk, sniffing the air. He let out a low rumble, a sound that seemed to echo in harmony with the rustling leaves. "This is no ordinary place, Arun. This is the heart of the forest, where the old tales say nature keeps its secrets." Arun's eyes widened. He remembered his grandmother's stories about the mythical heart of the forest, a place where wishes came true, and where the trees whispered ancient wisdom. The boy and the elephant approached a giant tree in the middle of the clearing. Its trunk was enormous, with roots spiraling out like the veins of the earth. Arun placed his hand on the bark, and to his surprise it felt warm, almost alive. "What do you think is hidden here?" Arun whispered. Suri knelt, his massive form moving with surprising grace. "Only those," Suri said, his voice carrying the weight of the forest's mystery. Arun hesitated for a moment, then pressed his ear against the warm bark of the tree. He closed his eyes and listened. At first, there was only silence, but then, faintly, he began to hear a soft, melodic hum, like a lullaby sung by the wind. "Suri, I hear something," Arun whispered, his voice trembling with excitement. The elephant nodded knowingly. "That is the song of the forest. Follow it, and you may uncover its secret." Arun took a deep breath, steadying his nerves. The hum grew louder in his mind, guiding him around the tree. As he walked, he noticed markings etched into the bark, symbols he couldn't understand, but somehow felt familiar. Suddenly, a small hollow at the base of the tree began to glow with a soft, golden light. Arun knelt down and reached into the hollow, feeling something cool and smooth. When he pulled his hand out, he held a small crystal, shaped like a drop of water. "What is it, Suri?" Arun asked, marveling at the crystal as it shimmered in the sunlight. Suri gazed at the crystal with awe. "It's the tear of the forest, a gift that appears only to those who are truly connected to the spirit of the wild. They say it holds the power to heal and protect." Arun held the crystal close to his heart. "But why did it come to me?" "Because you are special, Arun," Suri replied, lifting his trunk to gently touch the boy's shoulder. "You see the forest not as a place to take from, but as a home to cherish. The tear chose you because it knows you will use its power wisely." As the two friends stood by the great tree, a gentle breeze swept through the clearing, carrying with it the scent of blooming flowers and fresh earth. Arun felt a surge of determination. "Suri, with this crystal, we can help the forest and its creatures. We can make sure no harm comes to this place." Suri smiled, his wise eyes twinkling. "And I will be by your side, always." From that day forward, Arun and Suri became the guardians of the forest. Together they protected the land they loved, ensuring that its magic and beauty would endure for generations to come. And though their adventures were far from over, Arun knew that, with Suri by his side, they could face anything the world threw their way. The boy and the elephant had found not just a friendship, but a purpose, one that would forever bind them to the heart of the wild. As the days turned into weeks, Arun and Suri began to explore the vast expanse of the forest, learning its secrets and understanding its rhythms. With the tear of the forest safely tucked in a pouch Arun carried, they felt a new sense of responsibility. One morning, as they walked along a stream shimmering under the dappled sunlight, they noticed something unusual. The birds that usually filled the air with their songs were silent, and the water, once crystal clear, was now murky and gray. "Suri, something's wrong," Arun said, his voice tinged with concern. The elephant sniffed the air, his large ears twitching. The forest is unsettled. We must find the source of this disturbance. Following the stream, they soon came to a clearing where a group of men had set up camp. They were cutting down trees and dumping waste into the water. The sight made Arun's heart ache. "These men don't understand what they're destroying," Arun whispered, clutching the tear tightly. "We must act quickly," Suri said, lowering his trunk and stomping his foot. "But we cannot use force. The forest teaches us to be wise and peaceful." Arun nodded. He had an idea. He took the tear of the forest from his pouch and held it high. As the sunlight hit the crystal, it refracted into a dazzling array of colors, casting shimmering patterns across the clearing. The men paused, their axes and tools frozen mid-air as the colors danced around them. Arun stepped forward, his voice steady but firm. "This forest is alive," he called out. "It has a spirit that feels every tree you cut, every stream you pollute. If you continue, you will awaken its wrath, and the balance will be lost, for all of us." The men exchanged uneasy glances. One of them, a grizzled older man, stepped forward. "Who are you to tell us what to do, boy?" "I am no one special," Arun replied. "But this tear of the forest chose me to protect this land. I ask you not to harm it, for your own sake and for the sake of your children." Suri stepped forward, his massive presence adding weight to Arun's words. The ground seemed to tremble as he let out a deep, resonant trumpet, a sound that echoed through the trees.